The third session PC update is available right now, and it adds a very exciting new feature. Glasses. Don't worry, there's a little bit more than just that. Before we check out what's been updated, console players. The session update for Xbox and PlayStation will be releasing mid-May. The Nintendo Switch update should be getting an update the following month though. So mid-May, the console players will finally get all the fixes, features, and items that the PC version has gotten over the last 3 months. All right, now back to these glasses I was talking about. We now have a new tab in the Skate shop called Accessories, and this is where you're gonna find, well, accessories. To start off, we have 5 different pairs of glasses. Each of them have 7 variants. So the pit visors, for example, if I change the variant, you can see that the frame is changing colors. So we got the aviators, we got the pit visors, got Harry Potter's glasses, got some squared glasses, so like librarian style, and we got the stray band. While I'm in skater apparel option, I might as well show you that the, oh, I can't show you right now because I already bought it, but the Liquid Death guy is $500 now instead of $2,000, so it's much more affordable for you guys. The big gap in the skater's chest around the neckline for baggy clothes, that has been fixed. Moving on to skateboard gear, we got a couple of new DGK boards, which are actually pretty sick. Like, I like this one. Got the sticker board, a bunch of new flip boards. So like we got the classic flip board right here. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I wear this old flip hat a lot. We got a couple different variants of the colors. We got the TV logo here. Got a few new Meow boards here. We got some Annie ones. We got some Kristen ones. Oh, I like this one. I like this one. Oh man, I like this one too. Now we do have some new Samaria ones because Enjoy is no longer a thing. So Samaria is now on Meow skateboards. So if we go to Samaria right here, we go down, we look at the board, it is no longer an Enjoy board, it is a Meow board. Continuing with the boards that were added, we got some new thank you boards. Pretty sick designs that have been added here. We got this green baby. From Welcome Skateboards, we got some more shapes. Whoa, that Pooh Bear one is sick. So a couple more graphics, a couple more shapes. Like this one is a very, very interesting shape. Look at that. We got this one right here. Hang on, let me flip it around. There you go. So that's everything that's new in the skate shop. Now remember that loud squeaking noise coming from the trucks that's been in the game for the longest time, but players are only just now noticing it because the audio was recently boosted? That's been fixed. The way that it works now is you get a 50% chance of it squeaking, so we'll listen. There was one. And it's gonna be a lot quieter. The pop sound for Goofy Nose Manual was fixed. So the pop sounds out of manuals are working now. Speaking of sounds, the flat spot sound has been fixed up a little bit. So it now takes a little bit longer to get a flat spot. And oh, I forgot how much I turned down the friction there. And the sound starts like low and then eventually gets much louder over time. Like the more like power slides and stuff that you do, the more that the flat spot actually develops. These are brand new wheels, just bought them in the shop. Gonna take a little while to actually get the flat spots, but eventually we will start hearing. Oh, there we go. It's very quiet. And the way that this works now is the ground actually plays a factor in how fast it flat spots. So if you're doing a bunch of power slides on concrete like this, it's gonna flat spot a lot faster. If you're doing slides on like metal like that, then it's gonna take a little bit longer to flat spot. Okay, I think we're at full flat spot right now. Like it's pretty loud. So I'm just gonna leave this guy going because the longer that you ride the board, like the wheels, the more it's gonna smooth out those flat spots. So eventually they will go away on their own. You don't have to buy new wheels or anything. They'll just kind of smooth themselves out. So right now what's happening, I know I'm talking a lot, can't hear what's happening, but what's happening right now is the volume is like slowly like decreasing. So I think during my testing, I went from one end of San Francisco to the other in this map. And by the time I got there, it was pretty much smoothed out. That didn't happen. All right, it's very quiet now. I think it still has a little bit of flat spot, but it's pretty much smoothed out now. So quick comparison right now between when it started, halfway through the map, and at the end of the map. In the dev blog, it mentions that there were some fixes to historical challenges. This actually doesn't mean that the trick registration was fixed up. We're still working on that. But when I joined the Creature Studios team last week, more on that a little bit later, I submitted about 13 corrections to be made for the historical challenges. Very quick and easy fixes, so it made the cut for this update. So the fixes include giving credit to this backside 360 by Dustin. Before it just said backside 360. I saw its hard flip was done in 2009, not 2008. I know, right? Some of these corrections are a little bit silly, but I wanted to bring it to their attention. attention at least. Jeff Pang's heel flip on the small bank, so before it was called the switch hard flip, but in the ad that they reference, he does a heel flip to fakie. Jamal Williams' backside heel flip on the small banks, so before this was just a kick flip. However, in the ad that they reference, he does a backside heel flip. Also before, the name was different. The name used to say Jeremy Williams, and I think the person that made these before accidentally got the photographer's name mixed up with the skater's name. This one was just a credit change because Andrew Reynolds didn't do the frontside flip over the rail at Back to the Banks 2008. It was actually Figgy that did the frontside flip over the rail. The Creature Studios kickflip back nose blunt was finally corrected to nollie kickflip backside nose blunt because that's what they did in the E3 trailer in 2018. It was a nollie kickflip backside nose blunt. Manny's trick down the 10-set rail at Brooklyn Banks used to be switch kickflip, switch frontside board, but I actually asked Manny himself, and he said he only did the kickflip backside board slide, it wasn't switch. And that's all that can be seen in the Back to the Banks 2007 video. The backside salad had two little issues here. First off, it was done by Mike Franklin. No credit was given before. Secondly, it was backside salad and not a frontside salad, so that's been changed. When we go to Jerome Banks, there was only a couple things changed here. Brian Delatorre used to say Brian Delatora. Figured it should be corrected. In San Francisco, Jason Dill's nollie frontside 180 50-50 was on the wrong leg before because of the way that the game actually registers frontside and backside after a rotation. So now you have to do it in regular stance on the right ledge instead of the left ledge. So nollie frontside 180 to what would be a switch backside 50-50. Eric Ellington's challenge used to be a frontside pop shove it to frontside nose slide, which was incorrect. It's supposed to be a backside pop shove it to frontside nose slide, aka a backside big spin to no slide. Also, his name was corrected to say E-R-I-K instead of E-R-I-C. There was one little change in the Black Hubba's map. In the description of Lucas's challenge, it only said switch kickflip, so now it says switch kickflip backtail. And finally, in Philly, Carrie Getz Love Park line used to start with a switch backside pop shove it, which was incorrect. If you watch the video, you can see that it was supposed to be a switch hard flip. So now the line starts with a switch hard flip instead of a switch pop shove it. Like I said, very quick, easy changes that I brought to Creature's attention. They were on my personal list for a while, so figured why not add them to theirs. Moving on to another little change that was added to the transit system. If we go to New York City, go down just a little bit, you'll now see Creature Park. I think this option was taken out of 1.0, so it could be like a hidden park that you would find on your own, but it became a park that was the least skated map. So it is now back on the list. Oh, I'm sorry. You can still enter and exit the map through the doors though, as you did before. So if you go across from the 10 set at Brooklyn Banks, you can enter in this door. And if you go across from the 13 set in Brooklyn Banks, you can enter in these doors right here. If you aren't aware of this park at all, if you go upstairs, everything up here is movable. Like you can, oh, why did I set that up like that? But you can like customize everything up here. So open the object dropper, you can move this. Pretty much everything up here, you can move, customize however you want. Okay, now let's move on to board breaking. This feature was very short-lived in the experimental tab. So as you can see, it's not here anymore. Board breaking is now part of your wear and tear settings. So if we go to wear and tear, go down to board breaking, enable it, you can see this slider now. So if you max this slider out, your board is 10 times more likely to break. If you lower this, it's 10 times less likely to break. So let's max it out for a second. I'm just gonna do a simple board slide. First one. Okay, spawned a new one, board slide. It just breaks super easily. Let's do one more, back lip. Hopefully, hey, look at that, I actually landed it. Back to gameplay, we go back to wear and tear. Turn this all the way down. Now let's do the board slide. I mean, I'm not gonna break it. It's 10 times less likely to break. It's gonna be a lot harder, gonna take a lot longer to break. Like, no matter what It's all probability, by the way. It's all kind of random. A lot of things play a factor in it. How old your board is. Actually, I should mention that the board that you spawn in to replace the board retains its wear and tear. But yeah, a lot of things play a factor, like how fast you were going, how high you were dropping, what you were landing on, how old your board is. Like, there's a lot of factors at play. It's just like the likeliness of your board breaking is now more impacted in the wear and tear settings, having this enabled like halfway or like full or empty. I mean, it still breaks. It just means it's less likely to break. So yeah, for the time being, we only have it breaking in the middle. We'll have to wait a little bit longer for them to work on like other breaking points of the board. So if you haven't heard yet, I do now work for Creature Studios as their quality assurance and game tester. So I'm in charge of like finding the bugs, testing them. So like stuff like that, like I now know how to reproduce that because I did a lot of testing on it and I can reproduce it pretty much 100% of the time, which means I can report that to Creature and then they can look at why that's happening and then squash that bug when they can. If you guys want to avoid that specific bug right there where like your character just like flings like crazy, like bye, see ya. Two things you can do here. Do not set your marker next to a wall. So like if I set my marker right here and do the exact same thing that I was doing, I'm fine. If I bring my marker back next to a wall or something solid, and then do board slide and respawn, it does that. So either don't do that or go to experimental options, turn off skater physical animation, and then you should not get flung into another world. So not only do I just look for bugs and like report all that stuff, but I'm testing the quality for you guys so that every build that goes out is working as intended. Ooh. So for example, they just added a bunch of glasses to this build. My job was to go in and make sure that everything is working properly with like the buying system or like mixing and matching like the panda head with the glasses, just to make sure that entire feature was working properly. And then that goes with anything else that they do. And then I like, run through the tests of like every single build, make sure everything's still working. Now we do have a big list of issues already logged, but if you guys have any other bugs that you want to report, you can go to the Creature Studios Discord and report your bug there. If you have a video file and a way to like reproduce that specific bug, that'll be very, very helpful. But I will be checking comments on like social media, on Reddit, on Discord, everywhere to see if there's like any reports of any bugs, and then I'll go in and test those specific bugs. If they are a big issue or I can reproduce it, then I can bring it to Creature's attention. So I got you guys covered, don't worry. I know these past few updates haven't been exactly what the community has been hoping for post 1.0 release, but it's still very early on, and there's a lot more that's going to be coming to sessions, so don't count it out just yet. So that is going to do it for this video. If you guys want to keep up with any more session content, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next one.